Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Tabitha Corley.
And I'm Rachel Richardson. Now that the weather is taking a turn towards winter, you may have noticed a change in your mood.
Reporter Cameron Powell tells us more about seasonal affective disorder.
Seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression that is related to changes in the season. It is most commonly diagnosed during the winter months when there is less sunlight. Clinical counselor Dr. Gretchen Baldwin studies seasonal affective disorder and is a health counselor here at Winthrop.
When the seasons start to shift and the light changes, the quality of the light from the sun, and the amount of light that occurs during a 24-hour period, it's really easy for a mood disorder to be triggered.
But lack of sunlight is not the only reason people become depressed when the seasons change. According to psychology professor Sarah Ryland, change in one's daily activities can also be a factor.
For some people, the weather does seem to affect their moods, and a lot of times it's through their changes in their daily routine. So if summer and going outside and doing fun stuff is important to them, now in the winter they might start to withdraw, they don't go out as much, and so sometimes just the change in their activity level is something that can start to make them feel a little bit down.
And just like people's mood swings, the weather can go from good to bad in an instant. And bad weather means bad moods.
But if there is less sunlight outside, how can you avoid being depressed from a lack of it?
You actually can mimic sunlight through light boxes and special full spectrum light bulbs that can be purchased. You can do a Google search for it online and find all sorts of things. Light boxes are one of the best and most empirically validated treatments for seasonal affective disorder.
So this winter, make sure you do everything you can to avoid the seasonal time blues. Cameron Powell, Winthrop Close Up.
If you believe you are suffering from seasonal affective disorder, visit Health Services in Crawford.
If you've become frustrated by the constant change in weather, you aren't alone. Let's join reporter Brandon Great as he finds out how students here at Winthrop are dealing with the ups and downs of the climate.
Thanks, guys. I'm currently at Winthrop University, where I took to the campus to find out how students are feeling about the drastic weather changes.
I think it is a perfect example of South Carolina constantly changing. One day it's cold and the next day it's hot, then it's cold again.
This is what the weather looks like in Mecklenburg and York counties, all over the place. Many people have had issues with the conflicting changes in the temperature.
Mother Nature needs to get her act together, because she's all bipolar. One day she wants to be like 19 degrees in the morning, and then the next day she wants to be 30 degrees in the morning.
I have my clothes set into seasons, and so when the clothes that I have don't fit the season, it's a little hard for me to get dressed.
Students also tell how they keep from getting sick during this time of the year.
Always wear a light jacket, like never just because it gets hot, never just decide I don't need a jacket, have clothes on because it's still winter or late fall.
I have a big family-sized bag of Ricola cough drops in my backpack, and I carry that around every day. And then I have some cold flu medicine in my room.
Layer your clothing, keep medicine on hand, and always check the local forecasts. Make sure that you are prepared so you won't be sorry later.
As you guys can see, this bizarre weather has some strong effects on these students. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Brandon. Let us know how you braved the drastic weather changes on Twitter at Winthrop Close Up.
Experts say this winter will be one of the coldest and wettest that are in the southeast as experienced in a while. Reporter Jerrion Manning set his sights to see if the city is ready for ice.
Well, since this is going to be an extremely cold winter, they're saying, and a wet winter, we have started a long time ago getting our trucks prepared, making sure they're in good operational order, stocking up our warehouse with everything from gloves to hats to shovels to sand to the salt that we put on the sidewalks and things like that.
Winter has started early for the United States as a cold front blown in from the north has dropped temperatures far below their averages around the nation, and people have noticed.
I'm now wearing scarves more. I got my gloves. I'm out playing any games, got the gloves. As far as me actually considering, I actually look at the weather to make sure, okay, it's about to be ready.
As the weather gets colder, and colder, the city is taking precautions. But as snow and ice may come, they also have a plan for that as well.
In inclement weather, we open every facility in the city to serve our customers. And we make sure when we go out in the streets, we take care of the crucial areas first. Naturally, we'll take care of the police department, the fire department, in case those services are needed. So,
I think that the city should have more than one snow truck, and that maybe they should have programs for homeless people or people that are in need.
So get your snow shovels and coats ready. We're in for a cold one. Jerryon Manning, Winthrop Close Up.
Preparing for winter weather. Join the conversation with us on our Facebook.
Coming up on Winthrop Close Up, we'll join reporter Jerryon Manning in the News Center with Black Friday updates.
And one way college students are coping with stress.
Plus, uproar and protests throughout the United States. Find out why people are taking to the streets up next.
Okay. Welcome to the News Center. I'm Jerryon Manning with your latest in national and international news. Tensions are still high in Ferguson, Missouri after St. Louis County Grand Jury decided not to indict police officer Darren Wilson on any charges in the death of unarmed black teenager Michael Brown. Protests, both violent and peaceful, started throughout the country following the release of the grand jury's decision. The announcement sent social media into an uproar and stirred emotions in millions of people.
I was really disappointed. I was hurt. Like, I look at that whole situation as if that was my brother, because I have two younger brothers. One is 16 and one is 9. So they're about to grow up in this world, and it's really sad to see that happen. Like, it just really hit home really hard.
Wilson resigned from the police department after receiving threats of violence towards the department if he remained an employee. The U.S. isn't the only nation seeing protests. Thousands of people took to the streets of Mexico to call for resignation of the president. Some demonstrators turned to violence in an attempt to have their voices heard. President Enrique Pena Nieto has been in office for 2 years. He's come under intense criticism for the government's handling of the apparent abduction of murder of 43 students. Religious leaders are working to ease tensions in other countries. Ministers from NATO countries are meeting in Brussels to discuss mounting issues with Russia. NATO accuses the leaders in Moscow of helping pro-Russian separatists fight the Ukrainian government. Russia claims that NATO played a role in destabilizing the country's Baltic region by building up forces in Eastern Europe. In other news, Black Friday has been deemed as the beginning of Christmas shopping, providing great deals for shoppers, but it seems as if the emphasis is no longer on the day. During the early 2000s, retailers opened up at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. However, year after year, it started earlier and earlier. This year it opened on Thanksgiving Day as early as 5 p.m.
All weekend. It was crazy just because, the fact of, it's Thanksgiving and like you got to work all Thanksgiving. And it's just like instead of people being with their families, like they want to be out shopping and all that. So other than that, it wasn't as many people as I thought it was going to be, but, it was cool.
Black Friday shopping this year was down about 7% from a year ago. Black Friday may have been a bust for retailers, but early indications suggest Cyber Monday wasn't. Walmart says that Cyber Monday was the biggest shopping day in its history of online orders. The retailer promoted hundreds of items as part of the week-long cyber sale. That wraps up this week's News Center report. Let's take it back to Rachel and Tabitha in the studio.
Thank you, Jerryon. Coming up on Winthrop Close Up.
Get your plates ready. Winthrop students are competing for your vote in a chili cook-off.
Thanks for staying with us. The city of Rock Hill has seen a lot of developments over recent years, and there are no signs of slowing down. Knowledge Park is a mile stretch in downtown Rock Hill that includes landmarks such as the Cotton Factory, Rock Hill Town Hall, and Winthrop University. Costing more than $300 million, these new developments will modernize this historic part of town.
The Bleachery site itself is very exciting, and we've got a plan to develop that site. So it's really will be rewarding and exciting to see it go from the greatest employer at one point to a place of terrible loss of jobs, loss of activity, to now yet again another great place of investment.
To get the word out, a local business is taking a different approach with its marketing, and they've received positive feedback and participation.
We just want real people talking about their real experiences. We're stopping people and taking pictures and asking for quotes, featuring them on the website. People really saying, hey, I am really interested in what y'all are doing, I'd like to participate. You know, versus just how many people can drive by a billboard in a single day.
Winthrop is also known as a suitcase school, which means students usually pack up and head out for fun on the weekends.
Yeah, yes, 60% of the students go home on the weekend. And if we have more things to do, people are more likely to stay.
The park will not only offer social activities such as shopping and eating, but could bring up to 3,000 jobs and internships for students, graduates, and others in the Rock Hill community.
A real kind of core area is information technology. So programmers, tech support, web designers, think of all the IT jobs that are out there. Design, there's a lot of design capacity and students coming out of Winthrop.
Be on the lookout for all of these new developments here in the Rock Hill community, as tons of opportunities are coming this way. Within its 23 acres, the park will continue to evolve, and some developments are now open to the public, and some are projected to open in 10 years. Go to knowledgepark.com for more information.
Knowledge Park developments are going up, and Winthrop University students are giving back. Reporter Gabrielle Franklin explains how you can help make a difference this holiday season.
Giving back is important because during this time of the year, there are a lot of people who don't receive as much as others.
As the temperatures drop and the holidays draw closer, more shelters and pantries are in need of assistance. Some campus organizations like Kappa Alpha Psi, the Association of Black Journalists, Enactus, and the Psychology Club are reaching out to those in need.
The Drop Your Pants clothing drive is going to be a drive where you donate your old clothes to the bin upstairs in Diggs, and the clothes are going to go to the homeless shelters in Rock Hill.
But coats aren't the only items that organizations are collecting. Many programs in our community are also in need of can donations.
We wanted to help Project Hope because the demand for food has risen since the holidays are getting near.
Well, it's important to give back throughout the year, but specifically during this time because there are a lot of families in need, and when it gets cold outside, they go to shelters to keep warm and have a place to stay, and so they're going to need a lot of food to feed those people.
So this season, whether you give cans or donate clothing, lend a hand and help spread the holiday cheer. Gabrielle Franklin, Winthrop Close Up.
Donation deadlines are coming up quickly, so don't miss out on your opportunity to help those less fortunate.
This time of year doesn't bring just feelings of good cheer for the holidays. Many college students are feeling the stress of school and final exams. Here's a look as to why college students are turning to prescription drugs. According to a recent study by the Journal of American College Health, nearly 1/3 of college students will abuse prescription drugs.
I think it's a problem mainly because college is just a very stressful time. I think a lot of people are pressured to keep a good GPA. They have scholarships they have to keep, things like that. Therefore, I think it's easy for people to start using drugs to kind of help them reach their goal.
Some of the commonly abused drugs are Adderall, Xanax, and Vicodin.
People don't think of prescription pills as a substance abuse problem. They look at marijuana, they look at heroin, they look at cocaine, they look at crack. These are the things that are in the public. So I think it's just unawareness of kids.
I think we do a good job at educating students on alcohol awareness and, like weed and things like that. But I've never really seen programs about prescription drug abuse. So I think if we start to do more programs about that, we can start to reach more students.
According to the Clifton Foundation, every 19 minutes, someone dies from a drug overdose.
Sometimes you don't know what you're taking, and you don't know how the drug will affect you because it's not prescribed for you. So there could be risk of course, death, other health complications that might cause problems with your heart, respiratory system.
A common way people are making prescription drug abuse a social affair is with Skittles parties. But with a twist, as students bring their own pills to mix, just like Skittles.
Skittles are different colors and it's a candy, while these are different colors of pills, and then the kids then go around the room and they take a different colored pill and they try that pill out, something different from what they brought, and all the different colors enhance the party.
Campus Police has a pill disposal box for unused or expired medication. The box is located in the front area of the building. Finals at the end of the semester is the peak time for prescription drug abuse on college campuses. Instead, Winthrop students can take advantage of the 10 free counseling services offered in Crawford.
Coming up on Winthrop Close Up, we'll join Melissa Nobles in with your arts and entertainment.
Plus, we highlight one student athlete who is leading among her peers.
Welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Melissa Nobles. First steps after graduation could be very challenging, but some graduates take employment matters into their own hands. Reporter Jerryon Manning takes us to meet one Winthrop alum who took his creativity to the next level.
The company that I run right now is Think Color, and it actually started in Rutledge one late afternoon. I was chilling with my homegirl, just playing around Photoshop, and I made a portrait. It was 6 me's, they're all different colors. And I hashtagged it, well, I quoted it, Think Color. My friend was like, yo, that's a good idea, you should keep that. Okay, cool.
One thing is to make sure that you don't just have an idea. Your idea has to bring about true opportunity. If the opportunity is not there, it's just an idea.
I think I kind of inadvertently put myself around a lot of entrepreneurs. I know like my roommate Will, he's a photographer in Charlotte. He's always working. At one point in time, I was living with the famous Larry P. Him and Doc had have a long-running radio show. It's just you want to put yourself around creative people.
Take time to get the proper experience and education, and if you don't have it, build that solid management team that will help fill those gaps in areas of skill set that you don't necessarily have yourself. A lot of times, entrepreneurs are very passionate about what they want to do. But if passion doesn't meet skill set, if passion is not married to skill set, it's just a hobby.
As far as advice for like rising entrepreneurs, Nike had it right the first time. When they said just do it, you really should just do it. Don't wait, don't try to prepare yourself, but don't be like, I'll do it next year or I got it next semester. Nah, just do it now, live in the moment.
Other Winthrop students have started their own businesses utilizing their creativity. Several students have even contributed to the art you see around campus. Winthrop's campus has a wide variety of art that adds to its rich history and the distinct appeal of the university.
It adds definitely to the atmosphere around campus, and I think it improves how the space interacts with the everyday student walking around. Like, to know that someone who actually goes here and practices art here and built that, I feel like it's very important.
Are preparing for a huge piece to go up on campus next semester. To see more, take a stroll through campus or visit the works on display in McLaurin Hall. Whether it's in the art studio or out on the track, Winthrop students have a lot of talent. Reporter Damon Mack brings us this week's student athlete.
Go!
Deshaun Squires is one of those athletes who doesn't fold under pressure.
The most essential skill that I've learned since I've been here is time management. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for me to study. There's a time and place for me to go out, have fun. But, you know, it's all about that balance.
Squires runs the 100-meter, 200-meter, 4x1,
and the 4x4 relay. Squires is also the leader of the team in Power Squad reps. But with being a leader comes responsibilities and expectations.
What I demand out of Deshawn is excellent leadership. She's an upperclassman. I have all the upperclassmen in that role as a sophomore and above, and she took that role as a freshman, honestly. So she was already in a position to be a leader from her freshman year.
So what's the secret to her success? A lot of hard work and dedication.
Deshawn is honestly one of the most determined people I've ever met. Ever since I was 9, I just got out on the track and stuck with it. And ever since, I've loved it. I couldn't see myself anywhere else.
If you know of a student who deserves to be profiled, email us their name and a description. Not only are students giving their all on the track, they're skilled in the kitchen as well. One fraternity is adding a little spice to the way they raise money by hosting a chili cook-off.
We're out here this Friday working on a chili cook-off that we've set up to fundraise money for the Children's Miracle Network. We just kind of figured it's getting cold. Chili is nice and warm, good for the soul. Who doesn't love chili?
If you are interested in learning more or donating to the Children's Miracle Network, visit cmnwi.org. This ends arts and entertainment for this week. If you would like your program or organization featured on the show, email us a description. Let's take it back to Rachel and Tabitha in the newsroom.
Thank you, Melissa. A lot of money was at stake as students stepped into the West Center for casino night. Play money, that is.
Students gambled their time and joined Winthrop's Recreational Advisory Council for a fun night of games. This was no traditional casino. Students and staff came to enjoy games, food, and dancing.
Students used play money to gamble and could exchange their winnings for real prizes. What a fun way to meet others on campus.
That wraps up this week Winthrop's Close Up. As always, connect with us on your favorite social media sites.
We'll see you next week for another Winthrop Close Up.